The NBA, the Grizzlies suspended Ja Morant for 1 game yesterday for conduct detrimental to the team.
Do you feel like, there was anything you could do differently, I guess?
Relax him. They had a whole spill in here, so.
In the 3 games with no Doncic or LeBron James. Cedric Howard, the rookie, got a reverse on the other end.
That's tapped all the way out to Marcus Smart. He's almost hit from behind instead.
Defensively, if you're just going to stand there like a pylon, not be in position, not be in a defensive stance, reacting to what's happening, you are letting down the other 4 guys on the floor and the guys on the bench that are watching this.
From the outside, and the outside may be wrong, but from the outside, it didn't look like you had your usual energy tonight.
Go ask the coaching staff why.
Okay. You feel like you should play more?
Go ask the coaching staff.
When it comes to the career of Ja Morant, man, 2022 felt like his year. This dude went from highlight reels to headlines in no time. The way he exploded onto the scene, jaw-dropping dunks, swagger on and off the court, it felt like we were witnessing the next big icon of the league. Ja wasn't just a player back then, he was a movement. A certified superstar, an all-NBA player, and the name every kid wanted on their jersey. The media hyped him as the future face of the NBA, the next torchbearer for the 2020s era. But just like that meteoric rise, Ja's fall came even faster and harder. One moment, he was the talk of the town, and the next, he was trending for all the wrong reasons. Scandals, injuries, suspensions, and disappointing playoff exits started stacking up like bricks in a wall he couldn't climb over. Now, instead of being an MVP candidate or an All-NBA lock, Ja Morant isn't even in the All-Star conversation anymore. That's wild. The same guy who had the league in his hands is now a cautionary tale, a warning for every young player about how quickly fame can flip on you. And let's be real here, Ja Morant was never that stoic, quiet, lead-by-example type like Tim Duncan. That just wasn't his vibe. He was electric, emotional, unpredictable, a spark plug who led with energy, not discipline.
In general, I think our advice to the league would be just put all of your stuff behind Ja right now.
It's a good bet.
So, Sel, can Ja Morant be the face of the league?
Yes, he can, and yes, he will become.
But quitting on your team, that's a whole different story. When he faced the Lakers and just checked out mentally, it wasn't just a bad game, it was embarrassing to watch. 8 points on 3 for 14 shooting, sure, that's rough. But it wasn't just the numbers, it was the body language. No hustle, no fire, no fight. It looked like he didn't even want to be there. So what happened that night? Why did Ja look like he was tanking on purpose? The answer is pretty simple. He was frustrated. He was pointing fingers, blaming coaches, and throwing shade instead of taking responsibility. That it's everyone else's fault energy has haunted him throughout his career. Remember last season when Memphis fired Taylor Jenkins? Yeah, that wasn't just bad luck. That was another chapter in Ja's growing list of self-inflicted setbacks. If you've been following Ja's roller coaster, hit that subscribe button right now, because this story just keeps getting crazier, and we're breaking it all down right here. And what was Ja's excuse this time? Apparently, the Grizzlies' new offense was too team-oriented. Too much sharing the ball, not enough spotlight for him. That's what reports were saying. Imagine that, calling an offense too team-based. For a so-called superstar, that's wild. But honestly, it's nothing new with Ja Morant. Problems with coaches, issues with systems, frustration with teammates. It's like a broken record at this point.
Yeah, and 6 games into the season, it's incredible to me. This is the leader of the team. He's the best player on the team. You have to be a pro, Sherm. You have to be a pro. And this is not being a pro. You know, giving a half effort on defense. You need to set the tone. Look at what Scotty Barnes does for us as our best player on the defensive end. You need to lead by example. You need to put your ego to the side and put the team first and ask yourself, how can I affect winning? Not just when the ball's in my hand, but when the ball's not in my hand, and not just when I'm in the game, but when I'm not in the game.
The same old tactic, shift the blame, play the victim, and expect people to keep believing it. But fans aren't buying that story anymore. When you're a franchise player in the NBA, you're supposed to own it. That's the job. When the team wins, you shine. When the team loses, you take the hit. That's leadership. But with Ja, it's been the opposite. Every time things go wrong, there's always an excuse ready to go. Memphis fans, being from a smaller market, have tried to defend him for years. They want to believe he's still the guy. But come on, at this point, how can anyone ignore the pattern? Let's look at the receipts. In 2022, Ja and the Grizzlies beat the Timberwolves. Sure, that was their big moment. Then 2023 rolled around. First round, Lakers, gone in 6. Ja missed a game in that series too. Fast forward to 2024, total disaster. Injuries, suspensions, and chaos everywhere. 9 games played, that's it, 9.
Well, it could have been done different, get a different outcome other than asking the coaching staff.
According to them, probably don't play me, honestly. That's what basically the message was after, so.
Then came 2025. Ja came back healthy, fans got their hopes up, and what happened? Only 50 games, made the playoffs, and got swept. Completely embarrassed. And now here we are, new season, barely 6 games in, and he's already unhappy and suspended again? It's like deja vu on repeat. How can you build a dynasty around a guy who's never there when it matters? If Ja Morant is your franchise cornerstone, I hate to break it to you, but your team's going nowhere fast. Because when the lights are brightest, Ja disappears. Stick around and hit subscribe because the truth about Ja's downfall gets even deeper from here. You don't want to miss what's coming next. Look at Minnesota back in 2022. After that brutal playoff loss to Memphis, most people thought the Timberwolves were done for. But guess what? That loss lit a fire under Anthony Edwards. Since that moment, he's been on a mission. Every single season, he's leveled up. His game, his mindset, his leadership, it's all gone up a notch. Meanwhile, Ja Morant, the complete opposite. By 2023, Ant was already an all-star, missing just a handful of games and proving he could carry a team. Then 2024 hit, and he took another leap. Second team All-NBA, leading Minnesota all the way to the Western Conference Finals against Denver. You could see the growth, the maturity, the hunger to win. Fast forward to 2025, same story. Another all-star season, another deep playoff run, and only 3 games missed all year. Meanwhile, for Edwards, losing that 2022 series to Ja.
Studying and say, we're going to have to run through them.
Celtics.
No one in the West.
Nah, I'm fine in the West.
Was the best thing that ever happened to him. But for Ja, winning that same series turned out to be the worst. It's the oldest story in sports. 2 young stars, equal in talent, equal in hype, but heading in completely different directions. One wins early and gets comfortable, while the other takes that loss personally and grinds like crazy to get better. Anthony Edwards stepped on the gas and never looked back, while Ja Morant's been stuck in reverse ever since. Now, in 2025, the difference between them is night and day. Edwards is a certified top 10 player in the league, dominant, reliable, and respected. Ja Morant. He's not even cracking the top 15 anymore. That superstar label he once had, it's gone, faded, evaporated. And the wildest part, it's not even about physical talent, it's all mental. Edwards grew up, he became a leader, sharpened his jumper, improved his defense, and expanded his game. Meanwhile, Ja's been running the same playbook for years. Speed, explosiveness, flashy finishes, but zero evolution. His jumper, still broken, his defense, non-existent, his efficiency outside the paint, terrible. 9 for 44 from mid-range, 4 for 12 from deep, and just 5 for 32 off the dribble. That's not superstar material, that's a liability. At 26 years old, Ja Morant is facing a crossroads, just like he did at 22. Evolve or fade away, because in this league, the game moves fast, and it doesn't wait for anyone. At this point, Ja Morant's game has boiled down to 2 basic moves: drive to the rim for a layup or force up a wild 3. That's it. There's no evolution, no adjustment, no plan B, and that's the problem. In today's NBA, if you're not adapting, you're fading fast. Ja never became a better shooter, never tightened up on defense, never stepped into that true leadership role that every franchise superstar has to embrace. And that right there, that's the heart of his downfall. It's crazy. But Ja Morant is looking more and more like the modern-day Steve Francis. Remember Francis? Same story. Explosive early in his career, a highlight machine in his 20s, and then by 30, gone. Out of the spotlight, out of the league, and forgotten by most fans. The similarities are scary. Look at Ja's numbers. 4 years ago, he was averaging 27 points per game. Then it dipped to 26, then 25, then 23, and now he's barely putting up 21 a night. That's not progress. That's regression. His efficiency tells the same story. Field goal percentage dropped from 49% to 47%, then 45%, and now just 41%. And the three-point shooting? It's ugly. At his peak, Ja hit 34% from deep, then 31%, 28%, climbed back to 31%, and this year, a career-worst 15%. That's not just bad, it's unplayable for a guard in today's league. You can't build an offense around a guy who refuses to evolve. And now comes the tough truth, especially for Memphis fans. At some point, you have to face reality and make the hard call. Cut bait. The Ja Morant era was fun while it lasted, no doubt. It gave Memphis an identity, a spark, and some unforgettable moments. But right now, it's going nowhere. Worst case scenario, they end up bottom 5 in the West with a disgruntled, injury-prone star demanding a trade. Best case, they sneak into the playoffs as a 7th or 8th seed and get swept again. That's not a future, it's a dead end. Memphis has to stop holding on to the fantasy and start planning for the rebuild. Trade Ja, get picks, stack young talent, do something. Because the longer they wait, the less they'll get in return. The clock's ticking, and it's ticking loud. So that right there wraps up the story. And honestly, it says a lot. When you look around the league right now, the best young guards are on another level. You've got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Anthony Edwards, Cade Cunningham, Tyrese Maxey, and Jalen Brunson, guys who are leading their squads, putting up all-star numbers, and taking over games when it matters most. Every single one of them has stepped up and evolved into a franchise cornerstone. But here's the thing. Back in 2022, all of those names, they were behind Ja Morant. Every single one of them was chasing him. Ja was supposed to be the standard, the next superstar to carry the NBA into a new era. And yet, just 4 years later, he's not even close to that tier anymore. It's wild how fast this league moves. And the NBA doesn't wait for anyone. You either keep grinding and growing, or you get left behind. And that's exactly what happened to Ja Morant. From the face of the future to barely hanging on to relevance, that's how quick it can all change. From 22 to 26 in the blink of an eye, and the window's gone. Thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next story. Because trust me, we've got more wild NBA sagas coming your way soon. See you next time.